Today I'm going to share with you how to select the right blender, how to use the blender properly, and how to maintain it. We're going to look into some older models and some newer models that are more modern and more advanced that even I am so amazed by the features that are now available for blenders. Stick around until the end of this video clip, but before we continue, click that subscribe button. First, let's talk about how to choose the right blender. Selecting the right blender for a cafe is crucial. You have to be able to make use of that investment properly. A poor choice of blender can cost you a lot. It can mean slower service, inconsistent texture of your drink, and also costly breakdown. Define your usage, the volume of the drinks. How many drinks are you planning to make in a day? Type of drinks. Are you going to blend with ice, with fruits, or just with water? And the frequency. Are you going to use it all day? So if you're going to make at least 20 drinks a day, I would suggest that you get commercial grade blenders. Power and performance. Now there are many different blenders. I wouldn't suggest that you get home blenders if this is going to be for a cafe. Make sure that you get the blender with a minimum horsepower of at least 2 horsepower. And also, it should have a variable speed setting, also timer is very important, and the pulse function. These functions are commonly available in commercial blenders like this one. These are old models, but you still see that there is the pulse function. There's also the speed setting. This one doesn't have a timer, but these could also work as long as the power is at least 2. If your cafe is going to be with a lot of people there, I would suggest that you also consider the noise level of your blender. So there are models with a silencer like this one. These are also the old models. Or if you are using without a silencer, make sure that you keep it away from your customers. Otherwise, the noise will be such that you are going to be annoyed. Not only yourself, you also will be annoying your customers. Next is ease of cleaning. Many of these pictures are easy to clean, but not all of them are dishwasher safe. I wouldn't be too worried that they are not dishwasher safe because in my part of the world, you don't really get a lot of dishwasher here, automatic dishwasher. This is the dishwasher, me, right? Or your barista. So they're easy enough to clean and most of them are quite sturdy, so it's quite durable. Dishwasher safe or not, it's fine. Warranty. You should also consider the warranty of your blenders. Now, many of these blenders are quite durable that you don't need to maintain it if you are using it properly and also keeping your blenders maintained in such a way that it doesn't get old too quickly. Most of these blenders will come with a 1-year warranty. Look for that. And then all the other parts are replaceable. You can replace the mixer, you can replace the lid, you can replace the pitcher, you can replace the blade. So all of those are or may not be included in the warranty. The next thing that you have to consider when choosing the right blender are the features of that blender. For example, some models are now so advanced that they are programmable and there are also preset settings. For example, this machine here. This is an older version and this is a newer version, a different brand of course. And stay tuned. In another video, I'm going to show you how to use this more advanced blender. Next, ice crushing ability. If you're using home blenders, definitely they won't last. Even smoothie blenders, not good enough to use for crushing ice. Now, these blenders are robust and easy enough to crush ice, especially if you're making a lot of those frappes where it's only mixing ice with liquid. The last 2 tips are also very important. This is especially if you're going to talk about budget versus value. From experience, I have bought home blenders in the past and I used them for my coffee shop. And what happened was that I had to keep buying. Every 3 months, I had to change my blenders. So the initial investment is very important. The budget might be a little bit high at the beginning, but the value is definitely longer term. So I would say do not skimp on the blender. Buy a more expensive one. Unfortunately, the more expensive it is, the better the value for money. And finally, you must make sure that the parts are available. It's not that when something breaks down, you can no longer replace it. Most of the parts that need replacement would be the silencer here, Also, the pitcher, these are replaceable. You can also suggest that you buy a couple of pitchers with just one machine here, but that way you can always switch. So if you have a large turnover of customers, then you say, you make one here, put it to the side, and then put another pitcher. So that is another tip that I would recommend to you. Do not buy just one pitcher. Buy at least two. I mentioned earlier that you have to select a blender with at least 2 horsepower. Now, some of the blenders do not come with horsepower indicated in the blenders. So how do you calculate the horsepower? If you have a rated power of, say, 1680 watts, then what you need to do is to divide it by about 750. That is converting the wattage to horsepower. And it would be, in this case, about 2.25 horsepower. 2.25 horsepower. Remember that selecting the right blender is crucial because a poor choice would result in number 1, slow service, number 2, inconsistent texture of your drink, so your drinks might not look as good or might not taste as good, and finally, costly breakdowns. So make sure you select the right blender for your coffee shops. Stay tuned for the second part of the video, which is how to use the blender, and then finally how to care for your blender. I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.